our first podcast.
Here. This is the first podcast ever that we're ever doing.
Buddy.
Cheers to you, man. Yeah, so...
Start to something beautiful.
Yeah, so welcome everyone to What We Learned This Week. It's the first episode of a podcast that myself, Jake Dunaway,
and Drake.
Yeah, Drake.
Yeah,
man,
that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's gonna Jake and Drake. So get used to fucking that up all the time.
Yep.
So yeah, this is kind of just a podcast that we decided to start up. Is just we're known for kind of going on rants a lot of shit that has happened to us in the past week or so, and everybody's kind of told us for what, like the past 2 years or so. Yeah, a couple of years now. People have been telling us like, you guys should like do a comedy skit or like a stand-up or something, and we're like, well, it's kind of hard to do a stand-up without, like you have to do a shtick and you have to stand on stage. And you can't just sit there and
I like people, but not that much.
You can't just sit there and rant all the time. So yeah, this is kind of our way of ranting and just going through the week. I know the title does sound a little misleading. Might sound a little educational when you say what we learned this week. It's like an educational. What's that? Is that PBC or PBS? PBS. Yeah, PBS does their the public channel, and they do all the learning over there.
This is completely unself-reflecting, just nonsense.
Yeah, this is not that. This is our life. This is what we're going through on a week by week basis.
Riffing and bullshit.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, first episode here, because I know my family's going to listen to this after we share it on Facebook and everything. So just a PSA to you guys. Sorry in advance for anything that is said on this channel.
Start that apology by saying you are all wonderful people.
We love you very much.
And I hope this doesn't change my ability to come over and have dinner.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I hope you don't disown me, put me out of the will for anything we talk about here. This is, like I said, we just kind of riff on here of stuff that's happened in the past week, stuff that we've learned about. This can range anywhere from, public events.
Public events.
Cultural events to stuff such as,
some meat market in Tibet is at all-time low prices.
Yeah, did you know that? I didn't know that. But also anything that, online dating, for instance.
Online
stuff
dating.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah,
online dating. I heard you got a nice little fun story having to do with that recently. What did you learn this week about online dating?
Do not trust pictures and or any content that can come through with that. The Myspace era of picture taking, those monster angles, they lie a lot.
What?
And it's really good to manipulate those into...
No way. I never did that.
You never did those angles?
You remember, my favorite
was
was
something in the foreground to make sure that compares sizes.
We're back in back in the early Myspace days, like you knew like the people that were going through like their emo grunge phase because they would do like the heavy shadowing of their pictures.
The borders and the filters.
They do like a heavy black eyeliner. This song in the background would be like Evanescence playing. So just super different. You go to their MySpace page and you're like, man, this is some heavy shit for a 12-year-old. Like, man, you've been through the blows of life at 12 years old.
Yeah, no, you're going through some shit.
Anyways, I remember. Sorry, go on.
We'll steer away from the grungy MySpace.
That's a topic for a different day.
I remember my top 10 for the playlist.
Oh god!
Pretty sure the first one was like The Used.
See, mine was different. I didn't take the emo phase on that. I took like the hardcore the Game. Or like Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah.
Like My Life by Lil Wayne. Like I think that was my song for at least a year.
Easy.
And I just thought, oh man, I'm just the hardest mofo in this area. Like I just thought it was so cool for playing. I had 50 Cent in the club. I had it in the club on there.
Yeah, the stuff that pull you out during the dances. God, everybody comes around.
So terrible. It's so cringeworthy. I'm so glad MySpace is just imploded because I don't have to look at my stuff that I ever had.
But they'll find a way, especially with interviews and stuff. They'll look back. I think what was it? I think College Humor just did a skit about that. Probably a little bit ago, but they
Stop it. They
yeah,
like
they
took
did.
celebrities or something?
Oh no, sorry, it was not College Humor. It was Ray William Johnson on his channel.
And what did he do?
It was literally like a skit about an interview, and this guy shows up like really, clean cut, dressed
Right.
real nice.
Oh my god, they pulled his MySpace?
And literally, like, he hands him a
Stop it.
resume, and it's like completely just toss the resume out of the way, and it's like start digging, and it's him and like his two other assistants, and they're just like, on March 8th of 2010, like you said on your MySpace page, like today's a fucked up day. What was so bad about that day, huh? And then they just like.
Yo, that's
2001
so good.
on your AIM messenger. You say, how did you even get into my account that doesn't even exist?
That's so good. Oh god. Anyways,
yeah.
let's
So
back to your dating.
full circle. Yeah, no, the online dating is such a good concept, especially with how people kind of have a lack of interpersonal skills now.
Oh, really?
At least like I don't know if I can categorize that as like an or generation thing. I'd probably categorize it
I
as
would
that.
say our generation on, yeah, definitely. I feel like we were like that middle generation that we experienced no internet, or at least like super poor
Dial-up.
internet, and then all the way, and now you've got kids
Fucking
nowadays.
noise
that-
haunts me in my dreams.
yeah, the dial-up noise and stuff.
Hiding that at 2 a.m.
Oh. You'd go on, and your parents would like, try and put the restrictions on. Be like, nah, I'd get past that. I'm not
Got that
afraid.
proxy.
I'm not afraid. You think you could kick me off the line?
I don't think so. Just nobody call.
Oh god.
But yeah, it's worked out really well. I've had a lot of really fun and fond memories from like Tinder and all the
Yeah,
other
of course.
media based dating apps and stuff like that. Well, I recently got onto POF, which is another dating site, just as like a filler in between that kind of stuff.
It's like now, mind you, before you tell this story, what was the first thing that I told you when you signed up for POF? What was the very first thing that came out of my mouth?
Very specific type of people.
Exactly. There's a if you're not on Tinder, there's a very specific sort of person that goes on POF. And I'm not going to say what kind of people those are. That's not my place. This is strictly the view that I saw way back when I was on POF.
Yeah. So yeah, it start talking back and forth with somebody that I matched up with. Beautiful conversations, beautiful person. As time passed, we decided to meet up and all that fun, sappy bullshit. And yeah, kind of reflecting back on that MySpace thing, it's a bit of a difference.
Oh, really?
between
What's the difference?
the those wonderful angles and real life. Didn't know that.
So what, you have a crooked nose? Or
Oh God, no. It was trying to be nice about this. She
you don't have to. You can spare some of the details if you want.
look. I'm all about body positivity.
Okay, that's all you guys. That's all you need to know. All about body positivity. That's all we need
And
to know.
don't get me wrong. I'll reiterate that she was wonderful, absolutely wonderful woman. But yeah, that seems to be a commonplace thing with dating apps and stuff like that. That you just kind of not necessarily catfish, but there is almost a sub persona that you fit on top of yourself, like a secondary mask.
Well, and I don't think it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's not shallow of you to say, at least in my mindset. Some people are gonna be like, I guarantee if this podcast gets out to people, somebody's without a doubt is gonna say, oh my god, like you're body shaming something.
What an asshole!
And that's
that kind of stuff.
and it's not, because I mean, you're going online and you're completely lying. Like, for anyone out there that thinks it's body shaming, it's like, imagine you were talking to someone who said they were 24, 25 years old. They have these pictures and everything, and then you go meet them, and they're some 45-year-old weirdo. And
Oh, they had their entire
like, you're
show
gonna be
about
mad
that.
about that.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
it's what is that age? That's age. You're ageist for that. No, it's just be honest with what you are.
Right.
I mean, I get it. Some people have issues with their body and stuff, but
I mean,
it's not fair to you. It's not fair for you to like lie to others. It just puts you in a deeper hole, and it's gonna eventually make you feel worse by yourself because you're looking for expectations in these people, but they're, you're lying to them. So you can't expect. You can only expect a certain amount from them if you're lying to these people. You know what I mean?
No, and that definitely it is. I can understand how that is a pretty tough thing to really put yourself out 110%. There's always going to be something that you tuck away or that you hide behind, a certain level of restriction. But, with that kind of stuff, everybody has their own preferences, man.
Yeah.
And, I went in with every intention of, she was my preference, real perky, real fucking, outgoing, personable, all that stuff. And, it's the surprises that get you.
Yeah, it's those good old surprises that get you. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Well, in defense, I did warn you. POF is a certain kind of person on there.
Yeah, well, fucking hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true. Oh, man. But anyways, so what I learned this week, in light of our new podcast we've started here, it is a bitch to start up a podcast. I thought, I came up with this idea. So just so everyone knows is, like we said, we've thought about doing something sort of like this for a long time now. Yeah. Just weren't sure the route we wanted to go, especially with, doing a podcast. A lot of times you get pigeonholed with, certain topics that you have to talk about. You have your scientific, podcasts that are always going to talk about, the newest scientific research. You have your fitness podcast, your business ones, stuff like that. And you really kind of pigeonhole yourself. And for us, we talk about all of that. Yeah. So it was hard for us to kind of put that into one category and one concept and everything. And so literally just woke up one morning, had half a pot of coffee in me, and was taking a shower, and all of a sudden it was I was thinking about a podcast, and then just the name popped into my head, what we learned this week. And it's oh my God, that's it. It doesn't pigeonhole us. It puts us into any category, and as long as we make it known to people that, hey, this isn't very educational. This is more of just us just putting it out there on the line because we think people will find it entertaining. But, so anyways, to get back to how much of a bitch it is. So we started, brainstorming some ideas and everything. And luckily I'd already had a mic and I had some prior experience with Audacity, the, software that we're currently running on and everything. So the learning curve wasn't too bad, but everything, I thought it was just you hook a mic up to a computer and you just hit record. No, nope, that's wrong. That's a false ideology right there. You're way wrong on that one. So I mean, it's just there's a lot to learn from. It's a lot of fun. I mean, just the
oh yeah, I mean just the warm up to actually starting this was awesome. It was too much fun. Just starting to pick topics or things that we could initiate, through conversation and stuff like that, or what we could start off for the first episode to really give a good perspective as to what we're about as a podcast and what we want to portray and, send out there for people to listen to and to, enjoy. Which
is why we started with probably easily the most arguable topic in body positivity and plenty of fish and online dating. Yeah, it just we were thinking, and we were like, do we just save that one for last, or we might as well just roll people right into this on the first episode, because it's if you don't like us after the first 5 minutes, at least we're not wasting your time, because this is about what every episode's gonna be.
This is tame.
This is very tame.
Trying to be professional here.
Exactly. But it's just you see so many people out there that are doing all these podcasts now. You've got what's the one that we were just watching? Off topic. Rooster Teeth. You were talking about Rooster Teeth. Drinking Bros is a big one that I watch, and it's just it seems like all they're doing is sitting around a table and plugging in a mic, and they obviously have a bigger crew. They have people that are editing and stuff like that, but you don't think it takes that much. And then all of a sudden you're reading through, you're doing your research, you're looking, you're like, all right, I got a mic. Okay, now I got to pick my software that I'm editing through. Okay, I got that. Okay, do I need one mic or two mics with two people? Okay, and then it's like, oh, now you have to have an RSS feed, which is a whole nother website you gotta go through, and then you gotta create a Facebook page, and eventually, a website. Also, we do have a Facebook page. It is, it's just basically the name of the podcast, What We Learned This Week. That's our
check
Facebook
it out.
Page there. Yeah,
it's baby stages currently.
Very baby stages currently, obviously, and then. Yeah, it's just, then you got to get a logo created and everything like that. And, it's just a lot of work that I did not expect to go through.
But, I think, obviously, in how everything develops over time and, stuff like that, it's going to be worth it. I think this will be a venture that is going to be, it's been overdue for a super long time.
I agree.
Because we've known each other for a little bit of context to how we got to know each other. I'm pretty sure we were born in the same hospital.
You'd think so, yeah.
Way too long. Our families have always been really close, and so this, the friendship kind of developed exponentially over time, and that's been kind of a staple of our exposure, especially to all of our other friends and stuff, and the people that we meet or have met over time, has just been like just riffing, because that's like 90% of the conversations that happen. It's just riffing.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop. Like whatever topic it ends up on, it'll be miles away by the end, or by the time we're done with the conversation. But it just
there's a core meaning behind most of our rants. It's just it takes a little while. Like what was that picture that got shared the other day? It was like when it was on Facebook. It was when most people tell stories, and it was like there's like a straight line from beginning of story to end of story.
It was like
when I tell stories, and it was like a whole page of just scribbles messed up from beginning of story to end. That's basically our life. That's most of our conversations.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so we're like, why not put it into a podcast for everyone else to hear?
Oh yeah,
kind of messed up.
Just see if anybody else agrees or disagrees or whatever the contrast might be with that kind of stuff. Because anything and everything's welcome.
Exactly. So that's what I've learned this week. What else you got? You got anything? You say something about like gambling or something?
Oh yeah,
day gambling.
Day gambling and day drinking.
Jesus,
I noticed not too long ago that an odd amount of gas stations, convenience stores and stuff like that, if they get the right permits, have gambling machines.
Yeah.
Just like in that, I never at any point did I ever imagine that there'd be gambling machines. Like you see that every once in a while in like bars or like the actual like slot places that they have.
Yeah.
But I was moving a family friend of ours into his new place, and there's a bar right down the road that served really good sandwiches. And, so we figured, after loading a fuck ton of trailers and stuff, we'll stop in, get a burger, maybe a beer, something like that. Mind you, a little bit of day drinking, but, it was after, a fuck ton of moving. There's the two of us and a whole house.
Wait. Let's reiterate this. When you say day, what time?
It was like 11:30.
All right, there it is. Because day could mean 5. It could mean 3. 3 is okay. 3 is a good time.
Yeah, like enough
drinking.
So early enough to where they assumed that we were alcoholics.
Was it at least on like a weekend?
This is a weekday. Yeah, this was like a Thursday, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
so we get into this bar, we order a beer and the sandwiches and stuff and burgers or something. It was like whatever the sandwich was for the day.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, we're just talking back and forth and talking about the next run, and we notice that this guy, because there's bay windows in the front of the bar, this guy pulls up into the parking space. Nothing too crazy, no crazy car or anything, just him and his old lady.
Right.
I'm assuming it was his old lady. And she gets out. They don't exchange words. Don't say a fucking thing. She comes in. He takes off. No bye, love you, kiss on the face.
He just dips.
Drops her off like she's a fucking kid at daycare. Just drops her off, right? Takes off. It was a nice truck, by the way. It was a really nice truck.
So at least it wasn't like a beater.
No,
like
there would have been a lot of
like an old farm
there.
Truck where he's just like, get out.
Yeah, just get out. Like,
you're done.
Yeah, I'm done with your shit. So, lady comes in, doesn't say 2 fucking words to anybody. Just walks right in. There's a little alley in the back there. And that's where all the gambling is. And we were in there for a good hour and a half. And I had watched that woman walk over and tap that ATM at least 24 times.
Oh, God.
And like I said, we were there for a decent chunk of time. And by the time we left, she was still sitting there. Just sitting cross-legged, just hanging out, doing that. And Yeah, no, that kind of stuff, and then seeing them in gas stations and shit too. It's like, what are you doing?
Gas stations is the worst. I've walked in, like back when I was doing the construction stuff, I would walk into some of these gas stations, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, even earlier, because I was, traveling so far. I get there like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I swear to you, there was people there gambling already. It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, your pump gonna take that long that you have to
get
a couple swings in there?
You'd think like, okay, maybe it's a trucker,
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not putting truckers all in the same category, but for the most part, you know what a trucker looks like. They have that motif about them that you're like, that guy trucks.
I know what you do.
Yeah. No, these were like townies that were in here at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, just gambling away, throwing a couple bucks in here and there. Like, what?
I just don't get it, man. Obviously, I know that it can be addictive. I know that it can really grab onto you depending on like how much exposure you got to it and that kind of stuff, or like how into it you get. But I just do. That's how you're gonna spend your fucking Monday, Or like what? You drop your kids off at school. Like I've seen the place out by mom and dad's. Like there's a gas station right across from where they live, and all the time that's where I see their slots.
Like an old bumpkin.
Yeah, and it is just every day that I'm over there visiting, at least 1 or 2 people are sitting at those fucking slot machines just gambling away, and it's like 6:30 in the morning, dude. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
It's just so bad. Like.
You got that much change to fucking do that?
What went wrong in your life to where you're just like, wake up early, grab my coffee, go to the gas station down the road, and just start gambling.
Throw a couple
your
hundreds
retirement
in there.
plan? You're just out there gambling it up?
Well, because I know that a lot of people, as far as like casino runners and stuff like that, obviously I've never been to Vegas, but I'm sure that there are people out there that make a living off of gambling.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
You're in Vegas.
Right.
You're in the gambling capital of the U.S.
Hey, man. You gotta start somewhere. Little pipe dream.
You're
little fucking gas station
in
slot
the
machine.
backwoods area of a little farm town. You're gonna just this is where I start.
Gonna break big, man.
Gonna break big on what? What do you think?
Slots.
What do you think the most is you're pulling out of some of these gas station ones?
Oh,
grand, maybe.
Maybe.
If you're lucky, you pull $1,000.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
$7,000, but I'm thinking like your normal payout and a big payout for those ones, $250.
Yeah.
500 maybe.
Hey man, that's a couple cartons of smokes.
Yeah, but how much did you just drop?
True.
Yeah,
at least a break even, let alone actually make a profit off of it.
I mean, I guess you say this, and you do say the same thing about Vegas. You're never going to beat house, obviously, in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So you're obviously dropping a lot of money out there, too. But it just seems like it's more acceptable to be able to be gambling at odd times there. Not...
I mean, because that whole economy is based off of money brought in by casinos and entertainment and everything else.
Not some farm town.
I mean, you might
USA.
pay somebody's feed fees.
It's just so weird to me. I don't know. That's just me, man.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Tomato. That's not the right phrasing for that.
No, it's not.
The right term.
Unless I don't think you.
I'm just trying to make it nice.
Yeah, it happens. It's cool. You're just trying
not make them look like fucking addicts. Because gambling is an issue. To some.
I don't really gamble. I'm not a...
No.
It's not my motif.
Yeah, no, I think 21 or traces, dice, that's pretty much as far as like gambling goes.
Yeah, 21. I got into blackjack for a while. Mm-hmm. But it was like when I turned 18 and I was like, cool, get a couple scratch cards, play slots every once in a while.
Everybody
That's
gets that
cool,
point.
After that, I turned 19. No. Yeah. Nah, I'm good. I need that money. I gotta pay for things, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Well, definitely. I mean, like the age thing. I mean, you have such a restriction growing. I mean, like especially myself. I smoke cigarettes, and I remembered harassing people outside of gas stations like to just buy me a pack of smokes or like give me some singles, and I'd pay him for them a couple bucks.
Like when you were underage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like when you're under 18.
And that restriction, when I turned 18, I was like, oh fuck yeah, like this is awesome, like I can buy smokes now.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. And I remember because I think I was the first to turn 18 out of the friend group that I had at that time.
Yeah.
And
so then you became the guy.
I became the guy
you were
that
the
everybody was
hookup.
pestering.
And you're like, fuck
Yeah,
this.
immediately, I was over it.
Yeah.
I was fucking over it, man.
Now I know what it's like looking in, being the guy inside looking out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, fuck this.
That
shit
fucking
sucks.
dude that just got off of his 9 to 5.
And now
pissed
some
off.
fucking 16-year-old kid's asking him to
just
bum
go to the
some
gas station
smokes.
to pick up a 30 rack to
fuck you.
drink himself into oblivion.
Oh,
and
God.
some punk kid is fucking pestering him for smokes.
So funny. You know what's funny, though? Like, because I remember those days, like you would ask for, like you said, you'd ask for people to buy you a pack of smokes outside and everything. I've been over the legal age for quite some time now, and I have never once even been approached.
Really?
For that. Never once. Nobody's ever even, like, asked me, like, hey, I'm 20. It's my birthday. Can you No, I'm not doing
fuck
that.
you.
I'm not doing that. Even after I turned 18, I never had people, like, ask me, hey, can you buy me a pack of smokes? No. What the fuck? No. Like, it just never occurred to me, like I saw it happen when I was underage, but then after I turned 18, it disappeared. I never heard of it. Never saw it. So
well, I mean, like a lot of the people that we hung out with, we were all like the same age pretty much, so and pretty close in month too. So we all got to those specific ages, like even turning 21. I mean, we all pretty much
about the same time. Yeah. So.
But it's crazy how that transition happens though, because even with the drinking. We'll touch back on drinking. Like, I remember going crazy when I was like 20, about to turn 21. Crazy at the idea of being able to go to the bars, like go out and get crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
that lasts for a year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then I was so burnt out. I was so tired of spending money at bars and just like I'm gonna go buy a fifth or fucking something, if I want to drink.
Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go out this weekend, spend $100, drop $100 just for a headache tomorrow morning. Fuck you. I'm not doing that.
No, I'll go to the convenience store and pick up enough to get me there and then coast out. But yeah, it's crazy, that kind of stuff. And I think that ties in pretty easily into something I want to touch on. But that cliche standard of like you're growing, right? So we're as time passes, we get older and we start to notice how things have kind of changed.
Yeah.
And like. Not to hit
how culture's changed.
Yeah,
just your life in general, how life passes by, and all of a sudden one day you're just kind of like, what? Fuck? How old am I? What year is this?
Oh yeah. And especially like seeing my sister go off to college now, like that. I remember when she was born, man. That's crazy. But even with that, like the culture, because now we're getting the next generation, that next generation coming into the bars and stuff. So on those weekends that we actually do go out,
they're babies.
They're babies.
Just a bunch of babies.
And I always wondered, was that us? Was that
apparently
were we
it
those
was
fucking assholes?
Well, I mean, it was you guys. By the time I was 21, I had a beard growing, so I looked a little bit older. I mean, my height didn't help me, but the beard helped out a little bit. But, yeah, some of our friends, baby faces McGee. Yeah, we look like little babies out there.
Still can't grow facial hair.
Well, yeah. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here. You know who you are if you're listening to the podcast, and I'm super sorry that. But at least we didn't throw your name under the bus, so it's all good,
Justin.
Oh man, damn!
You motherfucker!
Just throws your name out. I can't. I hope he listens to it.
I hope he does too.
I'm gonna just make sure he
give
does
us something
it.
to talk
About. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like that. I don't know. It's really interesting seeing like that next generation start to come to the bars and. Do what we did during that like pivotal moment where everything is new and everything is so much fun and you grab a bunch of buddies and go get blackout at a bar. And I hate to say that I absolutely love watching that, but I fucking love watching that because it's
you can watch the progression of these kids like ow.
And like we were always good, man. Like us and our group of friends.
Well, okay. Hold on, because I know there's people that are listening to this that attended my 21st.
Oh god.
My 21st birthday does not count. I just want to state that right now. That was the lowest of lows
Yeah.
of anything that's ever happened to me, and it's never happened since.
Dude, that's... And
you know, it
that's,
was my 21st birthday. Got a little too messed up.
A little crazy.
You know, didn't eat for a couple of days. And probably had a little bit of alcohol poisoning, but
Yeah, that's all fun, man.
But I learned my lesson. But now it's like you watch these kids and you're like, ooh, you just went through
You can
6
see it.
shots and a
You can
pitcher
see
of
it.
beer,
And they're still ordering drinks, still dancing around. It's
Good luck with that one later.
And those are the moments, man.
Yeah.
Those are like, because it could be 4 or 5 hours in, you know, getting close to 1:30ish, and
I'll see you in the parking lot later when you're unconscious.
Oh my god, that bracketed time frame from like 12:45 to 1:30 is a shit show. That's like my favorite fucking part, because it's like you can tell.
Yeah, you know.
And
I think to me it's like if you're 21 to say your first year, 21 to 22. If I see you out and I think you're around that age, and I see you out past 1 o'clock, I know it's not ending well for you.
No,
like
absolutely not.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, because nobody at that point, unless you started really early, got access to that kind of stuff. Nobody knows their limit. No one.
And you're gonna fall under peer pressure and just
just keep going, get caught in the moment,
dive bomb before you know it. You're in the parking lot, just
dive in,
just
throwing
pissing
your
yourself. Oh my god, that was one thing I didn't do.
3-day-old pizza out of the back of somebody's truck.
I never did that though. Like I don't, you know.
What, eating old pizza?
No, I mean I've eaten old pizza. I'm not gonna lie there. No, but I've never pissed myself because I was so drunk.
Nope.
You know, it was never.
I puked all over myself.
Oh, I've puked. I've definitely puked.
Not pissed or shit.
No. I've heard stories about people that have dookied themselves and because they were so drunk, and I just don't get it.
No, I don't.
Like, how uncontrollable is your bowel that you just
shit.
Just release? Like, what?
Your body just knows that this is the time. This is the moment.
Or the fact that you're telling this story in a group of 5 to 10 people saying that, one time I got so... Like, you think it's clear. One time I got so drunk I shit myself.
Yeah, like it's something relatable.
It's not. Nobody does that. It's
nobody gets
happened.
that level except for... Nope, not gonna
except
go
for you.
No. God, no.
God, it's so bad.
No, actually, I think the worst I ever got was... I can talk about it. I think it's been like 10 years. But,
It's been like 10 years.
I was getting fucked up. That was when Halo 2 came out.
Oh, yeah.
And getting fucked up at a buddy's house, and we were all playing Xbox, and a little LAN party going, and we got a handle of Canadian Mist whiskey in a little plastic jug.
The good stuff.
The shit stuff. And I remember filtering, or like putting that into another plastic bottle so we could disperse to everybody, and cashing that plastic bottle in like 45 minutes.
That's disgusting.
As fuck. And the last thing I remember, because I remember playing, joking around, and just gradually getting more and more drunk, and then waking up on my buddy's couch, like a little love seat, and covered in my own puke, head to toe, man, head to toe, and noticing that there was a trail of vomit heading from the love seat I was currently sleeping on down onto the floor. No. About 10 feet straight, like just puddles, boom, 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 boom. So I was stopping as I was crawling or walking.
You had to stop just to leave a little bit more on the trail.
just get it done. Keep on moving, keep on trucking. Around an ottoman.
Why did you go?
I don't know. I don't know why that was what I wanted to do when I was fucking blackout drunk. But then somehow ended up back on that love seat. And woke up that next morning and just had to piece that nonsense together because I didn't remember any of it. That was I think that's the worst I ever got.
That's bad. I've never even remotely. I've hugged a toilet.
Right. Oh yeah. Everybody
like
prays
a frat house once.
Yeah.
I was just that drunk. It was like me and I remember it was somebody I was hanging out with at the time, and we both just got way too messed up, and there was photo evidence of
gratuitous amount of
me and said person hugging a toilet at this frat house. God knows how dirty that must have been.
God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, good old days of the old school drinking, man. You know.
Hey, man. You gotta learn your limitations at some point.
Yeah, but otherwise, man, that's about all I've learned for this week so far. I don't know about you.
It is only Monday, so.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty early in the week, so yeah, I think it was a pretty good first episode. A little intro into what our life is and who we are.
What we're going to be bringing to the table.
Yeah.
I can promise you, it's gonna get a lot worse.
Once
we get
it only
comfortable
gets
and-
worse from here. Yeah, this is the first episode. It only gets worse from here.
A little
So.
shaky in my voice still, so I'm kind of
it's
nervous.
all right.
Sweaty palms.
That's why we had a little whiskey beforehand.
Yeah, a little bit of whiskey.
A little Basil Hayden whiskey.
Dude, the good
Get
stuff.
it through our system there. So, yeah, from Jake and
Drake.
over here, welcome to the first episode of
Well, that was fucking lame for an
What
outro.
We Learned. I know, right? I fucking hate it. How do you do an outro? That's my
I don't
thing.
know.
How do you do an outro? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Thanks for giving us your ears.
Yeah, that's another thing that I hate about fucking.
All the formal.
About the formula of learning all this shit.
There's,
and
there's
everything.
got to be at least some sort of
God, it's so
format
bad.
to
It
that kind of
sounds so
stuff.
structured. I hate structure.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point we'll convert to that.
That's why I don't even have structure in my life. But.
Well, that's why we're friends.
Anyways.
People have to be on fire at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So,
till next week.
Till next week.
Yeah.